Hello everybody, I am really excited to do this. I am about to install the carbon fiber chassis for my rustler, traxxas rustler. Now this thing is so cool. Oh my gosh, it's just so cool. Okay, so might as well just start out with the actual chassis. So it comes with these nice, easier to use clips. I never thought about that, just bending the clips up so that they're easier to pull out. Oh my gosh, I feel stupid for not thinking about that. Nice battery holder, keeps it in all tight. Now, I have this little battery. It fits perfectly fine, okay? And I tried the stock 7-cell humpback battery, that works fine too. I have not tried the 3S LiPo. I'm not thinking that'll fit. Unless, I just noticed this, there are 3 different rows, so it probably will fit, okay? Okay, so they gave you these in case the thing's actually too big, so you can stick those in. And these in the back, I already used one, so I already fitted mine in there pretty much, that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the chassis. I'm not sure what that's for. I'll figure that out later. It's about in the same spot as this, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll do some research. But this is just so cool. Okay, so I'm going to put this back together. And then we can get started with the installation. Okay, there we go. Actually, I'm going to start out with what this does. So this increases performance in no ways. Does not increase performance at all. The only thing that this does is 1, add completely awesome looks, and 2, strengthen it by like a bajillion %. This thing is so strong compared to the old just plastic chassis. And it also combines the lower chassis and the upper chassis, so you don't need to buy 2 separate ones so they don't try to rip you off. This is super well made. Got the nice blue accents to go with my blue themed car. So let's go ahead and get it started. I'm going to go ahead and take off the front end and the back end. So let's start out with the front end. You're going to go ahead and take out this screw, this screw, this screw, and this screw. So we'll be right back. Okay, once you take out all those 4, you're going to go ahead and flip it over. Take out this screw, and this screw. Alright. You take out those 3, the front end should pretty much just fall off. Okay. Now you're going to flip it over again. And we can start taking off the back end. So, we're going to start by taking out that screw. And if you can see it, that screw right there. Okay. Okay, after those are out, you're going to go ahead and flip it on its back. And if I can move this into its right place. Sorry about this, guys. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take out these 6 screws. There. Okay, this is just my lights, so ignore this black strip down the middle. So those 6 strips. I cannot speak. Those 6 screws. Okay. You take those 6 out. We're going to just real quickly just unattach this wire, just because it's getting really annoying right now because I'm flipping it over and stuff. So you're going to go ahead and unscrew that one, the upper one, and the other upper one, the higher one over here. So those 4. Okay, after you do that, you can go ahead and take this little piece off, set it aside, then you can lift this up, and then, okay, the tape that I put on there, absolutely nothing, but you're going to take this, the receiver box, and you're gonna just unplug both of them, okay? So just remember that the one coming from the servo goes in channel 1, the one coming from the ESC goes in channel 2, so just remember that. So you can unplug both of those and pull them out. Just throw the side, throw the wires aside. Okay. So now I'm just going to set that aside for right now. We'll get back to that later. So next, we'll get back to that in a second. So next we're going to go ahead and take off the wheelie bar just to get to some other screws. It just makes everything a little bit easier. So you're going to take off that screw, and we're going to take off that screw in the middle right there. And after you've done that, you can go ahead and just slide this off. Alright. Okay, so next, I'm going to undo that screw. And if you can barely see it, that screw. Alright. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and, if I can get this pop off, the little cover at the end of the motor. Hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay, so you can pop that off. You're going to undo that screw and that screw. Okay, once you've done that, you can completely take off the rear end. Okay. And you can also snap that little cap back on. Just looks. Or actually, don't do that, because probably just gonna need to, probably just need to re-put it on if I can talk normal. Okay, so now you can go ahead and you can just unplug all 3 of those, and then you have completely taken apart the front and back ends of the chassis, taking them off. Okay, so you can unplug those. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take off this screw, this one, and might as well, while we're at it, take off that tiny one and that tiny one. This will take off the ESC and the bottom half of the receiver cover thing. Alright, once you've taken those off, you can go ahead and put them aside. And next, we're going to unscrew these 4 screws. So, see that. After you've done that, you can set it aside, and well, you have taken everything off of your chassis. You can go do whatever you want with this. I'm just gonna toss it aside. And yes, I know my lights are still on there. They were broken anyway. So, now you can look at the mess of what your RC car is. Okay. So, I guess we shall start rebuilding your RC car. Okay. Okay, after you've cleaned a little bit off of mostly everything, you're gonna, well, first you're gonna go ahead and take these 2 screws out. Then once those are out, you're gonna put them through this and tighten them on the second holes, okay? These 2 in the front are gonna be empty. Okay, so after that's in, we're gonna go ahead and install the bottom part of the receiver box. So we're gonna go ahead and use the same screws, the same screws that came with, or that were on the receiver box earlier. We're going to screw them in through that hole, the lower hole, and the lower hole on those and those. Alright, you're not going to use the old screws that came with the receiver box. You're going to use 2 screws and 2 bolts that came with the chassis in this little tiny bag. Next, once you finish that, you're going to go ahead, move the chassis aside, bring up this front part, because we have to take off this old upper chassis. So, we're going to go ahead and flip it over. We're going to unscrew these 4, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, to take the servo off the old part. Okay, once you do that, you're going to go ahead and take out this screw, and this screw. And if you're wondering why I do not have the upgraded, this part, is because it really didn't fit, because I accidentally got the nitro version, but the install video is still good. So, I have a part over here. I'm just going to buy the actual right kind. So I just put this one back in. It works fine. It's not broken or anything. It just so yeah. So take these parts out, these 2 screws. Okay, now I just figured out that you have to take off the top part to install the front and back ends. So you have to do that. So you're going to take off all the screws on the top, all of them back there, and then you're going to have to take off this too. So just go ahead and take off all of them. Okay, once you've done that, you can go ahead and take this top part off and just set it aside. And you know what, I'm just going to take this off. It's annoying me. I don't know why. Okay, that looks pretty cool, I gotta say. Now we'll bring the front part, and we are actually going to start assembling this. So take... Oh my gosh, this always gives me trouble. 1 second. Okay. So now we have the front. If I don't mess everything up, we got the front. Now we are going to go ahead and flip this over. Okay, so the servo is going to go there, right there, and that fits really nice. And just for convenience, we're going to go ahead and pop these 2 guys on. They fit really nicely. Fit nicely on there. Yeah. Okay. So, now we're going to go ahead and get these 4 screws and screw them on those 2 slots and those 2 slots to put the servo in. Okay guys, this is getting good. Okay, so now that we have this in and these on the bar, we can go ahead and reassemble this. Go ahead and screw all those in. Make sure that's down. Just make sure. And then we're going to put the front end on right after that. So, just do those screws and then we'll come back. Alright. After you got all those screws in and the pad for the ESC, you're gonna go ahead and slide it into place. Let's see if I can do this. I always have a hard time. Hold on 1 second, guys. I always have a hard time doing this. I have no clue why. I have no clue why. Okay, I got it. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and start by putting these 2 screws in, right there and there. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, it's starting to look like an RC car again. Now we got those 2 screws in, so we are going to go ahead and flip it over onto its back. And we're gonna screw in this one, this one, and this one, those three. You're right. Okay, now that we got the front end completely done, now we are going to go ahead and put on the transmission and motor. Alright, so we're just gonna pretty much set it on there. And we are going to flip it over while holding on to the transmission so it does not fall off. And then you're going to try to align these right. You're going to go ahead and stick, let's see, 4 of these, except I only got 3, 4. 4 of those screws, sort of the bigger ones, and then the 2 smaller ones from the beginning. Those are going to go, the 2 smaller ones are going to go in the end ones, and then the 4 ones are going to go on those. Okay, I'm going to go put, hey guys, so after you got those in, you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and I know that's getting a little bit dark, so I'm going to try to finish it up before it gets completely dark outside. I probably have another like 20 minutes, which doesn't seem much like to you guys, but I gotta do all the screws and stuff, so we'll see. Okay, so now we are going to pretty much finish. We're going to install this, and I am having a mind fart. Which way does this go on? It goes on this way. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry there. I'm sorry for what just happened. That was a little bit of a mind fart. So, this is going to be a little tricky, and I just got a bunch of stuff over my legs. Okay, so pretty much you're going to try to put it down, and we're going to do the shock tower first, so that we can I'm just going to try to get everything out of the way so you can put it all the way down, because it doesn't have the wheels on. So try to put the stuff in its places. Oh yeah, you gotta put the drive shaft on together. So put the drive shaft together, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so it got too dark and my camera ran out of battery, so I had to move inside. So now we're gonna be doing in here. So pretty much what we're gonna do, I lied, we're not doing the shock tower first. We're going to actually, once you have the drive shaft on, you're going to push the arm up there so it's against there. If you can see that. Same on the other side. Then you're going to screw in. I put them on a magnet. I put all my screws and stuff on a magnet. You're going to use these long ones. And then I'll get back to you. Okay, once those are in, you can go ahead and lift up the shock tower a bit. Take out these 2 screws. They would come into focus. That one and that one. Because those are going to be used to put in the shock tower. So just take those off. And we'll be after that. You are going to screw in these 2. And if you can see that one and that one. For these 2 over here, you're going to use the longer screws. Okay? And then you're going to put them through this part, and then you're going to put this through it, and then you're going to screw it in all the way, okay? Next, we're going to install the ESC. We're going to put it on there, line up that one in the hole under it, and that one in the hole under it, and go ahead and screw those 2 in, and make sure that you have it like this. Well, I mean, it doesn't really have to, but this is how I use it, and it's pretty easy for me, so facing this way. Alright, so go ahead and do that. Okay, now that that's in, we're going to go ahead and put all the electronics back in here, plug all of them in, and then close it all up, and then we will be done. Here we go, guys. This is it. Completely installed. Everything is done. We got the carbon fiber chassis completely finished. Well, thank you for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos that I have. I have some other ones of upgrades, and I have some ones coming out in a couple of days. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.